Oh my gosh! Is that what I think it is? I think I found it! It's the algorithm! And it runs on a Mac! I may have just figured out the YouTube algorithm, and what do I do when I figure something out? I expose it. So if you want to figure out what makes a viral video and what does not, what the difference is between algorithmic
Yeah, another boring office scene. Look, if you want to know what makes a video go viral and how YouTube really works, and maybe learn a thing or two that you didn't know, well, then you should stay and watch this entire video. In the meantime, check out what I got to share with you. This is a piece of plastic. This is a dead wombat. Now this is a comb. So the very first thing YouTube tries to do is categorize your video. That is, they're trying to figure out what do you appeal to, and the easiest way to do that is while using your title, description, tags, and a lot of people don't realize this, the transcript of your video, of what's actually being said in your video. See right now. See, here's the thing. If we walk over here to first base, the very thing YouTube wants to do is, well, note that it's actually on a baseball field. In other words, if we're watching Blippi visits a fire station and everything that's talked about is Justin Bieber, Lamborghinis, crashing, and music, well, that's not really congruent with what the titles are and the other stuff is, so YouTube gets confused and doesn't really know how to accurately categorize the video. That's bad. So if you even want to have a chance at getting to first base, don't start by confusing the algorithm. Instead, if your video's Blippi goes to a fire station, then you should expect to talk about, well, fire people and hoses and fire trucks and skipping. Ooh. Step 2, let's talk about click-through rate. Click-through rate isn't really what's used when it comes to understanding YouTube and how it ranks videos that are supposed to go viral. But it's a good idea to start talking about what click-through rate is. So let's explain. When you go onto YouTube, you might get suggested 10 videos to watch, but you have to make a choice. You can only really choose one video at a time. This is where click-through rate comes in. If YouTube recommends 10 videos 100 times, and 3 out of those 10 videos each get 33 views, or about, that means each of them got about a 33% click-through rate. That is, they popped up 100 times and they got clicked on 33 times. What about the other videos? Well, those other videos got a 0% click-through rate. That's really bad. And see, that's basically how YouTube filters out bad thumbnails and bad titles. If people aren't intrigued by the thumbnails and titles, then good content could get buried. This is why, and it's sad, but there's so many great content creators out there that don't get noticed. They have such great content in their videos, but unfortunately, their thumbnail and title game just isn't on point. And ultimately, those videos just die. Oh God. Oh, by the way, if your channel has a reputation for making videos that don't do well, you might get thrown into the rusty bucket, and that makes it a lot harder for you to get out of the hole, so to speak. Alright, so now we got 3 videos that are being watched decently. They're being at least clicked on decently. Let's say each of those videos gets watched by those 33 people who clicked on them for an average of 5 minutes. That is, 33 people watched for an average of 5 minutes each after the video was shown 100 times. Well, now the math is super duper simple. And what is the algorithm like? Simple. 33 views with an average view duration each of 5 minutes. That leads to a 165-minute watch time per 100 impressions. If we divide these, we get an expected, and this is very, very, very important, an expected watch time of 1.65 minutes. That means every single time YouTube puts a video up, it expects and reasonably expects the ratio to continue unless the video or topic dies for some reason, to basically earn 1.65 minutes of watch time every time that video shows up. And because it's an average, that means YouTube's expected watch time return is still 1 minute and 65 seconds, even though 67% of people are choosing not to click on the video because it's all averaged out. Now, what if, let's say, that 100th view clicked on one of those videos that nobody else was watching and stayed to watch one of those videos for 5 minutes? Well, that means somebody watched 5 minutes of content after YouTube suggested it 100 times. The simple math on this tells us that that video has now earned an expected watch time per impression rate of 3 seconds. That means every time YouTube bets on that video, YouTube only gets back 3 seconds. Those are terrible odds, and the odds are YouTube's just not going to recommend those videos anymore. AKA, they're dead. Oh yeah, and you might have guessed this already, but this is also why clickbait fails, because, well, people click on it, then realize realize, oh, wait a minute, it was just a fancy thumbnail that got 20%, 30% click-through rate, but then people didn't stick around to actually watch the content. YouTube doesn't bet on clicks or views or click-through rate, even though that's what they show you in the back end. They actually care about expected watch time per impression, which is something they don't show you on the analytics tabs. So you think that they're showing you what actually matters. But folks, we're out here in the wilderness. You gotta be very careful. They're tricking ya. Ooh, a sidewalk. Oh, and there's the water fountain. But I mean, this makes sense, right? I mean, YouTube wants to bet on content that people will actually watch. Otherwise, we might just turn into another, Instagram IGTV or something. Ooh, is it too soon for that kind of joke? Ugh. Woo, I did it. Anyway, that's why people say watch time is very important. And you should watch to the end of this video to learn why what other people say is oftentimes very wrong about YouTube analytics. And we'll get to the end. I'll expose that. Uh-oh. I lost my phone somewhere. How did I lose my phone? I lost my phone going over the fence. Oh. Anyway, so what happens now? Well, YouTube takes the correctly categorized videos from step 1 and the videos that actually get a click-through rate thanks to their titles and thumbnails, and then of course ranks the videos based on their expected watch time within that category per every time YouTube makes a bet on them or shows them to somebody. And then guess what happens? X marks the spot. Oh, sorry, that's a reference to a different video. Now YouTube is going to put well-performing videos up against each other, and now the competition is on through what are known as live A/B tests. So YouTube doesn't actually fully believe in its own ability to predict which videos people are going to watch. So they constantly, on the fly, reinitiate multiple, probably thousands, of what are known as A/B tests. And these are really simple. Basically, do users click on video A, or do they click on video B? And if video A keeps getting picked, then video B gets kicked out of the whole course, views drop off, and a different video gets put up against it. Now here's a bummer for a lot of you creators. If your competitors' videos get just slightly higher watch times per impressions, well, your videos just die. The bottom line is, YouTube doesn't feel bad for you. YouTube is a machine. It really just doesn't care. It's going to place bets where the most money comes out. And by bet, I mean impression, and by money, I mean ad revenue.
You've got 17.5% in T-bills, damn it.
This is why you can have a ton of circle challenge videos, but only some, like Mr. Beast, do really well. That is, at least until people are done watching it on the trending page and move on to looking for other circle challenge videos. Oh, by the way, did I mention I made an appearance in Mr. Beast's #1 trending for a while? Circle challenge video at the Cloud House? Yeah, Cloud House.
Never there. What do you think of them? Yeah. Cash and jumping.
I said no.
I don't eat it.
We got organic.
Oh, look, a dead tree. Anyway, the whole premise of this is something called exploitation versus exploration. Basically, exploitation is when you do something and you expect a certain result, which statistically, because, well, the statistics and analytics are there, YouTube can generally expect specific results from recommending videos that are doing well. But YouTube doesn't like going exploring because, you get stabbed by prickly things, and it's just not a good idea because you could end up making a mistake. YouTube does not like risk. YouTube likes certainty because, after all, it's a machine. See, this is like saying I like ketchup, and if I want a sweet taste, I might put some ketchup in my mouth, and I pretty much every time get a sweet taste with a pretty high degree of regularity and certainty. But now let's say I've never tried mustard before. An algorithm would never try mustard. Instead, it would only ever try ketchup. However, us humans are okay making mistakes, and we just happen to make a lot of them. That's called exploration, because you just never know what you're gonna find. And us humans, well, we're curious people. But when it comes to the algorithm, it doesn't work that way. The algorithm just keeps putting money where the money is to be had. It doesn't care that there might be more potential somewhere else. It ain't gonna find you. It ain't even looking for you. And that's why I say YouTube is the meanest kind of business there is. Your life is predicated on what a machine thinks of your videos. Is what it is, if you so choose to be a YouTuber. Look at all them pretty trees over there. So as a result of this, YouTube actually prefers older content over newer content every single time. However, the human element of the algorithm, that is the engineers over at the YouTubes of the world, have decided that people, not algorithms, prefer newer content over older content generally. So this is where YouTube engineers have decided to boost videos for the first 2 to 6 days capabilities by adjusting one of the algorithm's data points by about 600% to basically manually give new videos a chance. Without this boost, new videos would never get views. The algorithm would just keep betting on videos that have been successful. So now in practice, what happens when somebody uploads a video? Well, the notification bellers, you bell smashers, you get the first notice of a video that comes out. If a lot of you fail the click-through rate test and you don't swipe on my notifications, then, well, it actually hurts the video. If you do click on the video and your watch time for that session is low, then the video also gets punished. Basically, not clicking on something or watching it for a short time is a way to send YouTube a signal that you're demoting the video. So if you didn't like me, you should basically hit the subscribe button and then never click on my videos every time YouTube suggests them to you. Anyway, you early adopters, you are basically the guinea pigs, because what does the algorithm have now? It has exactly what it wants, the data. Watch time per impression. That's the only thing that seems to matter. Doesn't mean I know how to get you to watch my videos longer other than me just begging you to stay to the end. So now that we know how that works, what about audiences? People are always like, oh, I gotta cater to a certain kind of audience. Well, here's the thing. YouTube really doesn't care about your ASL. Look, obviously they know it, just like every AOL chat room. But the bottom line is, age, sex, location doesn't dictate much. What dictates the most is actually the actions you take. The same goes for those of you who browse YouTube on private browsers. Basically, the videos you click on are the highest indicator as to what you will click on and watch next. Your age, sex, location has almost nothing to do with it as soon as you click on that very first video. If you don't believe me, you could try what Jack does to Lauren's YouTube account every day. Searches for nothing but Blippi and train hitting cars videos. And what is every single video that YouTube recommends to Lauren? Train hitting cars and Blippi. So what actually makes a YouTube video go viral? Two things. One, obviously high watch time per impression and passing A/B tests within your category. But there's more to it than that. YouTube might actually manually decide to push your video and encourage more exploration. Remember, the algorithm does not explore on its own, but YouTube might manually say, hey, you know what? We should test this video out to homepage people who maybe aren't logged in. Basically, these are good for all genre videos when people haven't yet made a decision on what kind of videos they want to watch. They just go to youtube.com and basically tell YouTube, entertain me, but I know nothing about you. Entertain me before I go to Netflix. And that combination, the lesson on how videos go viral, along with that manual touch, tends to be exactly why videos go viral. Now, what about like, subscribe, and share? YouTube doesn't really care that much about those things. Those things are what are called explicit actions. And unfortunately, explicit actions teach the algorithm very, very little about what somebody is likely to watch next. Therefore, YouTube doesn't really care about the buttons you press. You should still press like, subscribe, and share because, well, but in terms of actually recommending the video, nope, sorry. Now what about those dang ads we see all the time from like Pez and lately, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to say names anymore. Yeah, well, no. Those typically have little bearing on how well a video does. People tend to think that is true because it makes sense. I mean, YouTube is a business and it would seem rational that the higher money producing videos would get promoted by YouTube more. But remember, the tech space is one that doesn't necessarily care so much about profit. They care about market share. And YouTube is more interested right now in gaining an audience, taking it away from websites like Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, than it is in extra profit and being motivated by pushing videos solely because of the profit they make. But I mean, look folks, sometimes it's not all about money. Sometimes it's about how many buckets you got in your Sprinter van.
Action steps. Number 1, drop down to the description, click on the link to my Teachable courses, and make sure to buy the real estate investing course. I don't care where you are in the world, as long as you have a pulse, the real estate investing course is for you. If you happen to also be a real estate agent, or somebody in sales who wants to do better at sales, or you're thinking about becoming a real estate agent, make sure to also buy the real estate agent course. But the real estate investing course is universal for everyone. If you happen to have a ton of money and want to invest it and don't really want to learn how to invest, then buy that investing course anyway. follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, and tell me you got some money you want to spend on real estate, and we'll figure something out for you, all right? Number 2, if you're making videos, continue to clickbait. Number 3, if you are making videos, which if you got to number 3, you probably are making some form of videos or media or whatever, make sure to provide more value and provide high quality content to justify your clickbait in said step 2. Number 4, encourage people to stay longer by providing that high quality content in a consistent path so that people want and are encouraged to stay longer. This is probably a better idea than asking people to like and subscribe, because watch time, the implicit data, matters much, much more than the explicit data, like we talked about. Number 5, hit Mr. Beast up on Twitter and Instagram, please, and invite him to please have Meet Kevin in the next circle challenge. Because if I have to be on the outside of a circle one more time, I'm a vomit. Number 6, provide high quality information. Now you might think that that's sort of a rehash of number 3, and it is. But it's just really important because, after all, why do we come to YouTube? To seek out high quality information, and then we can learn, and at the same time, hopefully, we can be entertained. And now, number 7, the very last thing you need to do is go to the start of this video and watch the whole thing again, because that's really gonna help the algorithm out. Thank you!
Now, if this setup and all that information doesn't motivate you to smash the subscribe button to get some more exposed videos, fine then. At least hit like and leave. Wait, better yet,